Hey yo, they tell me when you're not looking is when you find them. Normally wouldn't mind it until I met your highness. The highest, the sign from Christ, I high five her. Till that third finger's covered, I won't touch but admire. Didn't bump into you, I sensed you. Mistakes written in my book of life, you the eraser to my pencil. Since you came into the picture, makes no sense to box you up and frame you. Single, let me change you. Sure enough, you had a touch. Got the glow around you. Don't need to call yourself virtuous. Let the Lord crown you.
People ask the question, what does submission look like in courtship?
Courtship. That's a great question.
That is a great question. I think we have to understand first that I think it is some levels of submission, right?
Yeah.
But we have to understand that women, that man is not your husband yet. So you're not called to submit to him in the way you are called to submit in the marriage.
Yeah.
You're just not. You're just not called to submit. But I think there are ways in which we can respect him. Women, you can respect him and show them show him that you're ready to submit, because it can be really discouraging if you are in a courtship and you just be like, oh, I ain't submitting to you. You ain't my husband yet. You gotta get out my face. Woo, woo, woo. It's like, man, like, are you gonna be like this in marriage? So I think it is ways where we can not necessarily submit to his authority, but submit to his ideas, submit to the way he feels, submit to his decisions, in a way. And in the same way for men, I think we have to display Christ-like love before we get into a marriage. We have to be displaying these things. So I don't think we have to necessarily submit to these things, but we do have to display them in courtship, because I don't think you'll know somebody, your husband or your wife, not if they don't kind of display them.
Yeah, I think that's key. What you said is, are you practicing elements of it? And so I think you have to see that a guy that you're dating or in a courtship with, that is the equivalent of how you function with a brother in Christ in your church, right? Yeah. Because there's mutual submission to the church. Paul told us submit one to another. And so there are ways in which you might submit to a brother in Christ or a sister in Christ or your pastor that you are not necessarily going to do with your husband, but even more so with your husband, if that makes sense. And so I think if you looked at your courtship in the same way that you look at your just platonic relationships between brothers and sisters in Christ, function that same way, because he doesn't have the freedom to have authority over you, because he doesn't have authority over you. But there is a measure in which you can still practice meekness, you could still practice gentleness, you could still practice respect. He doesn't have to be your husband for you to actually walk in those traits. And so I think...
Yeah, and for men, things, I thought your phone went dead.
I thought so too.
Sure enough, you had a touch. Got the glow around you. Don't need to call yourself virtuous.